Hi, my name's Brendan. I'm with Family Piano in Waukegan, Illinois. And what I wanted to do in this video is a side-by-side comparison of our major models of our digital selection under $1,000, and a couple that are a little bit above. So in this video, I'm going to briefly play each instrument, go over some of the major differences between the instruments. For more information, the manufacturer websites have all the specifications, or it's probably a little easier if you want to reach out to us. You can email us. My email is Brendan, B-R-E-N-D-A-N, at familypiano.com. You can also call our store number, as well as visit our website, and we have a live chat and some other options on there. So with no further ado, I want to show you our best-selling model. This is the Casio CGP700, and this is one that we just love the pieces. So this is my go-to when people want something that's feature-rich under $1,000. So I'm going to play a little bit and show you some of the features and then dive into a little more. And then this color touchscreen makes it really easy to do a whole bunch of different features on this instrument. So let's see, here we go. Becomes too fancy, you can go ahead and press the grand piano button right here and turn it back into a piano again. This features 4 speakers up top plus 2 big speakers in the stand itself, which is a little unusual, but it's a really nice configuration. You can pop this off the stand and bring it with you to different musical performances in different places, and or just keep it bolted into the stand here. What I like about this is you have this nice color touchscreen that's really easy to navigate and typically is only featured on models in the upper end of most manufacturers' lineup. So this one is just an absolutely great lineup. Part of it is you've got in here a ton of different sounds. It's 550 different sounds. So you can go into the piano category, and then you've got all these different instances here where we can pick like a honky tonk. Some really nice electric piano sounds, a bunch of great organ sounds, and once again, a ton of different sounds in here. A bunch of different guitars, steel guitar. And we actually have a pitch bend wheel for certain instruments like the steel guitar where you might bend the string when playing. So in here there's also a bunch of instruments from around the world in their ethnic category. Sitar, tempura, shanai, and urhu. I don't know what an urhu sounds like, but there's 3 of them. So you can have some fun with that. You also have the drum sets in here. Fun with all of that. So there's 550 different sounds. Navigation on the rhythms is similar. It has a full 200 something sound rhythms, with each of them having 4 variations. So we can go in and maybe pick like a nice bossa nova here, and then you can have some variation with that exact same rhythm as well as an ending sound. So you can kind of vary it up and know comfortably that they're all going to work together in the piece that you're working on. Which is really nice. You can also do the accompaniment feature, where it's going to try guessing what chord you're playing with just 1 or 2 with 1 or 2 fingers. And then if you combine the 2, you can actually kind of have a backing track for what you're doing. can really make playing a ton of fun with a ton of different sounds from around the world, a ton of different rhythms from around the world that can make your music playing really quite enjoyable. You also have on here a nice balance of a lot of features that are easy to get to in the color touchscreen, but also just dedicated buttons. So if you want to easily transpose, there's just 2 buttons here. Recorder functions. It's a 16-track recorder. You can do some pretty sophisticated recordings on here, both in MIDI, which is very manipulatable in software on your computer, or audio, which is manipulated in different ways. And you can also send it directly to people and they can play it without sophisticated music software. In here you can also save all of your settings as a registration, and there's 96 different registrations in here. So you can save all of your configurations and pull them up very, very easily, as well as changing the tempo, changing the split. So this is a very, very full feature. I could spend more time with this, but this is one of our best-selling options right here. As a quick aside, everything that we do here, we do price match everything, including the internet. You know, we can definitely talk price if you have any questions. You know, that may change depending on manufacturer incentives, so I'm not going to include price in this video, but please reach out to us about that. And everything that we do, you can typically take it home same day in the box, support a local business, and we're actually doing free local delivery for any of the models that we're talking about. And we also include a bench for any models that don't come with a bench, like this one, for example. Everything that we're talking about is going to be a full 88 keys, fully weighted, great for learning on. So for example, you might see things like this out there. This is a 61 key model from Casio, and this is a great instrument. I like it. And there's a time and a place for something that's smaller, portable, really tough, but it's not going to have a fully weighted action. This is going to be a piece of plastic with a spring. Not very realistic, not great for learning on. Certainly fun for playing around with. If you've got younger children, this might be the right option for them. But for serious learning, you're going to want an 88 key keyboard. That's what we're talking about today. This is from Kawai, but it's a very similar action to what you're going to see in the Casio and in the Roland that we stock under 1,000 right here. All of them have headphone jacks. This one has the 2 headphone jacks right up front, kind of a standard 3.5 millimeter size, which works with pretty much everyone's modern headphones. You don't need to tune it. It's easy to record, and some of the other practicalities of the digital. So this is bestseller, the Casio CGP700. Next up is going to be kind of the, it's not as feature rich. This is going to save you some money if that's something that's a priority for you. So that's going to have the exact same action as the CGP700. I'm going to play a little on this here for you. So this has 2 speakers here, nothing in the stand. This one navigates a little different. No color touchscreen. You basically press the function button, and then on here it actually has printed all of the things you can do with this function button. So for example, I can press function and maybe have an electric piano sound. Or I can press function and have vibraphone here. Or strings. Now what's nice about this one is you can actually press 2 at the same time. Still do the strings and the piano sound right here. This one does have a metronome, but it does not have any rhythms. And the transpose feature is kind of off to the side here where there's not any printing. It's a little more difficult to remember how to do the transpose on here. But this is a lovely instrument. It also pops off the stand. It also has the headphone jacks up front. It's actually the same form factor, fits the same bag for transporting. So if you want a gig bag to go along with it, we have those here as well. So this is the PX160. Now if you want something that looks more like a regular piano, the PX770 is very similar to the PX160, but it's going to look more like a regular cabinet. It's actually going to have the sliding keyboard cabinet. And then this one actually has the 3 pedal board. So for the 2 previous models, this is an upgrade that's separate. This one comes with the 3 pedal board. And this bolts into place, so it always stays put. So this, and it has all 3 of them instead of a basic 1 pedal. That's going to be on the PX160 and the CGP700. So this is the PX770. Oops. Let me get the volume up. This one also has the feature navigation for pressing function and changing sounds this way, but there's a few more options off to the side here as you're playing. So this one is a bit of an unusual finish. This is a brown. It also does come in black and white for the PX770. Now this is the PX780 right here. This is going to be a more full-featured part of the lineup here. This one does have a keyboard cover like this. Comes with the 3 pedal boards, a more traditional button navigation up front. So you've got everything here. This one does have the older style headphone pieces right here. So these are the 1/4 inch for kind of the hi-fi folks, or maybe have some retro equipment. We do send you with the headphone adapters with this, no charge for doing that. So you've got a lovely instrument here. Pretty much everything you can do on the CGP700 you can do here. There's some small differences, but basically it's just a different navigation style with the PX780. Great option here. And then next to it, this one's going to be over $1,000, but you may want to consider it. It does have this really nice little board here, and the speakers are here, so it kind of has the sound bounce around, kind of like a grand piano. It's going to have bigger, nicer pedals. Under here, this also features their New York Steinway sound. I think they can officially call it this New York sound, but it's a New York Steinway. So. Celviano AP470. This is not one that I believe is sold online. This is, I believe, only through brick and mortar piano store retailers like ourselves. So if you're interested in this, this is not an online option. But we will do local delivery for this. So that's a quick overview of the major models that we carry from Casio. I want to show you the other main line that we carry that does great for anyone under $1,000. That's going to be from Roland. So over here, we've got a couple of different models, and the one I want to start with is the FP30. This is one that you can pop off the stand, bring it with you places if you want, but it comes with this nice stand. We have it bundled with the stand and the pedal board. You can buy the pieces separate if you'd like. Things about this is this one actually has Bluetooth MIDI. So this is one that Roland has really been a leader in the Bluetooth world and utilizing it with apps. So in here, there's a free app called Roland Piano Partner 2, and it makes it very easy to control all these different things about your piano. So for example, the tuning here. You can change that. You can go through and scroll through all of the keyboard tones. So it's on a much bigger screen. It's a lot easier to navigate as you're going through, and a fair number of sounds in here. It makes it easy to kind of split the keyboard into 2 different sections or to do 2 different sounds at the same time. And you can change the balance very easily. As you're changing it, and you can kind of bump it up an octave, which is nice. Add some dimension to it. Another couple of things that I really like about this, it's very easy to record. So you can just quickly go in, boom, and there it is. Which is really nice. So we can go in. The rhythms is kind of a different setup as well. There's a bunch of rhythms in here, and you can adjust it has a default beats per minute, but you can adjust that. You can also choose to only have it on drums. So for example, it has the accompaniment, or you can choose to have only drums. And you can have different fills and variations, and the sync start means you have an intro, ending, quite a few different options on here. So that's one thing that's really quite nice. The other thing is we can go into here, and there's a number of songs we can play. But they also have the sheet music that goes with it. So you can look at the sheet music as you're playing, and then turn off one hand, turn off the other hand, turn off the accompaniment, only have the accompaniment playing while you play. And you can also change the tempo as you're going through here. So it gives you a lot of control for the pieces that are included in here. Now, as far as I know, there's not really a good way of adding songs into the app itself. This app primarily accesses what's on board here. But because of the Bluetooth MIDI, it doesn't have to just work with the Bluetooth app from Roland. You can actually use a variety of third-party apps. And one I want to show you real quick is this one from Notion, which is really nice. So this is one that you can purchase for not very much money. And what's nice is we can go in and let's see if it's connected. Oops. Actually go in and I think I have too many apps going, but you can actually play and the music will appear on the screen, which is really nice. So you can kind of compose effortlessly and add different instruments and do some really cool things. So this Bluetooth MIDI unlocks a lot of possibilities for a lot of different apps. So this is the FP30, which is one of Roland's flagship instruments for under $1,000. There's a couple of variations on it. The FP10 recently came out. And this is one that's designed to be kind of a stripped down FP30. It has the exact same actions, full 88, fully weighted. So, I think it has a pretty decent sound. This is one that because it's on a stand, the sound can kind of reverberate a little more. Because this one is on a tabletop, it's gonna be a little kind of muffled by the tabletop. I do not believe this one works with either a stand or the pedal system on here. I think this one can work with the stand but not the pedals. I'll have to double check. But, if you want to be able to do both the stand and the pedals, you would definitely want to go with the FP30 on this. So the FP10 is a real affordable option that does do the Bluetooth MIDI and allows you to interact. So this is the most affordable of the Bluetooth MIDI keyboards on the market that I know of. Now the Roland RP501R, same sort of idea. So this is one where you've got a keyboard cover, you've got 3 pedal boards, it looks more like a regular piano, and off to the side, it's the simplest interface I've seen yet. You've got a power button, volume, and a function button. So you can use this function button to change sound. So you don't have to use an app, but this one's really geared for navigating everything with an app. So 9 times out of 10, you'll come home, power it on, you'll play it like a regular piano, you power it off, nothing more. But when you want the extra features, you have the iPad here to unlock just a world of possibilities. So the RP501R is one of our favorite models for under $1,000, especially if you're looking for something that has a lot of features via Bluetooth and looks more like a regular piano right here. So this is the RP501R. It's kind of big brother that is more than $1,000, but I'll show you briefly here, is the RP501. So this is one here. There's actually if you want to showcase, Roland put out this nice comparison chart here that kind of showcases a little bit of the differences. So, as I'm playing, you can kind of process this. Oops, let me turn the volume all the way up. Have a couple more buttons kind of up front. You do have the keyboard cover right here, and is just a lovely instrument. So this is the Roland RP501, and that is a quick overview of the main digital pianos out there that we really like under $1,000. Thanks.